Hey, what's up? New year, new us, huh? Another cycle on the planetscape of loot boxes we call life, and that's okay. I'm not afraid of modern gaming. I mean, who doesn't love a company like Activision? When they buy out and turn all my favorite game studios into empty shells for the sake of profit, I mean, what's not to love? Passion? Integrity? Hell no. Just make half a game and put in a battle pass. I mean, that's conducive to the betterment of gaming innovation, right? It's hard to enjoy anything nowadays without getting wrist flare-ups because I used to play an arthritis simulator from the early 2000s. But like I told the IRS, nostalgia can be a real bitch, and if you want to kill me for whatever money I don't have anymore, I'll be waiting at Northside and Beckett's with my paycheck and a loaded gun that doesn't jam, and this time, I won't drop $100 for a Genshin character, cause I'll be dead. I'm not going back to prison, and I'm definitely not paying $300 for a Buster Sword on Apex Legends. I'd rather play an actually fun game, like GunZ. You know, the game we used to play, Jimmy, and not the game of cat and mouse we call tracking my home IP cause I haven't filed my taxes, you government dog. But I digress. Let's have one final trip down memory lane. You know, remember the good times together, cause God knows, one of us is not long for this world. Hi, I'm Vincent, and welcome to my 20-page dissertation on how to write off your earnings with loot boxes in a really niche Korean free-to-play game. So without further ado, let's get started before I lose my nerve. 2005 was kinda weird. You had companies just barely holding on, making whatever free-to-play garbage they thought would sell. It was not good. I hated it. Dumpster diving through a Korean gaming site meant there was something seriously wrong with you. There was no quality control. Free-to-play games were half-coded, half-finished, half-game, and half-cash-out data miner with an incredibly predatory pay-to-win scheme, and were usually glorified Counter-Strike clones with a rootkit. Kinda like today. It was terrible. But back in 2005, there was a studio called Mayet, and like every other Korean company making freeware in their mom's garage, they did not know how to code. They knew so little about coding that they made the most technical third-person shooter ever made by accident. You see, gaming was not like today. A lot of groundbreaking hits were not intentional. Mayet had no idea what they were doing, and when this game came out in 2006, no one played it the way it was intended. On the surface, this game was nothing special, and it wasn't even half finished. Things barely worked, you had half-baked animations that were barely chained together by some guy typing up code at 2 a.m. off a coffee spike with drain cleaner. But GunZ was a very complex game. There was an unhealthy amount of my life spent learning how to mash the spacebar, downstack the left mouse key off its motor hinges, and trying to keep inhuman levels of APM at 2 a.m. in the morning while I try to hit some guy moving at Mach 5. On a basic level, you would be pressing over 150 keys a minute. It was an incredibly technical game, and all of this was only possible because the game fucking sucked. Look, in my last video I said if you played free games as a kid you were either stupid or broke, and I'll be honest, I was kinda both. I get a lot of messages asking me why I don't like the best game of this decade when I play a game like this. I also get a lot of people asking me why I don't like Elden Ring, to which I'll say, I don't know where you got that from. I love Elden Ring. I just hate the people telling me it's not as good as the first one because it's more of the same. And to that I'll say, I'm gonna eat your pancreas. I know people love to talk about the good old days, but things were way more jank than they are now. You know, we used to call it demos. You know, the thing a game is called when it's not finished. Now we just call it early access. On my summer downtime, when I normally spent going out and playing hopscotch or some dumb shit, was spent getting early wrist injuries typing up the equivalent of a Beyblade, and I could not take it anymore. Everyone who played it was always on edge. It was about as sweaty as you could get, and some nights you'd get on and realize that everyone treated the game like a second job. Oh well, I've played competitive games too. I climbed the League of Legends ladder, and I hit Diamond, and I did it with my e-girlfriend Soraka. I looked her up on Kick. Her name's Fred for some reason. Good for you, man. I filled your car with carbon monoxide. I'm not saying that GunZ was an esport. I'm just saying that nobody will ever make a game like this ever again. I mean, not even Mayet knew how they made the game. You think some modern AAA dev is gonna give a rat's ass about some dead game that copied Fortnite? Get real. I mean, how did a game like this even exist? And why after 20 years are there still people playing it? Well, that's a great question, Jimmy. GunZ was my favorite game of all time. It was an online third-person free-to-play shooter action slasher hybrid that, if not for completely unintended game mechanics, would have never seen the success that it got. I'm not gonna lie, it's kinda hard to know where to start because everything about this game is so intensely unique, from its game design to the Asian and Western themed art style to the intensely Y2K visuals. I just can't put my finger on exactly where this game was so good, but no matter who played this game, everyone can agree on one thing. It was hard as fuck. This game was never meant to be played in the state that it was. GunZ was built on very jank coding. It was just common knowledge that you could cancel every single animation in the game. You could fire multiple weapons, jump off walls repeatedly, fly around and attack at ridiculous speeds. You could interact with this game in ways that were clearly never intended, and it completely broke the game. Like, what happened, Myatt? What the fuck were you guys coding in the office? Outsourcing dying half-ass code to the same guy who made Yandere Sim? No, really, that's not a finished animation. That's just a sliding keyframe of my character. Good job, Mappa. I didn't sign up to watch you spark up a blunt while your intern pieces your jank-ass game together, you EG-looking mother... What the hell is wrong with these key bindings? GunZ was built on a completely unintentional foundation. There are limitations put on the movement that are completely bypassed by exploiting the engine. And because of how freeform it is to exploit game mechanics, people abuse movement cancels to play this game in completely unintended ways. And I know what you're thinking, okay? What about just coming home and playing the game normally? I don't have time to come home and give myself a wrist injury. What? You mean like this? Half these animations don't even work. And you're telling me people want to play this dumpster fire of a cash grab normally? No, I'm not even gonna hold you. This game plays like shitty Gears of War. I'll even pull out my controller. It feels like 2006 already. What, are you crying? Oh, you don't like mid-2000 shooters. Well, guess what? I know this is hard to believe, but back then we didn't have Fortnite. We had Gears of War 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 billion. And guess what? We played them all, because that's all we had. Shitty military COD clones that took place in Afghanistan. Now quit your fucking crying, Satoko. Pick up that 50. We got some goddamn Taliban to kill. Case style is the main reason why people play this game. There are thousands of ways to use it, and you can cancel almost any move at any time with any animation. There are no limits to how many moves you can chain together. If you can press 150 keys a second, you're gonna look like it. The movement is absolutely fucking bonkers in this game. There are different ways to case style, but they all revolve around moving really fucking fast. Dash cancels let you move at the drop of a hat. The faster you can do it, the faster you can move. Just don't expect to hit anything. This game is really hard to aim in. On one hand, this game is more like a flicking simulator where you just kind of guess hard enough to actually hit something. On the other, this might be the most amount of Adderall I've ever taken. I don't know. I feel like most games have aim assist anyway. I've never had to actually move my mouse before. I'm eating a banana right now. It's really tasty. Easier to eat than whatever I'm doing right now. This game is really hard. And I have worked in 3 hours. If there's one thing EG did right, it was clan war. The comp scene was the lifeblood of GunZ. Most clans didn't even make it to ladder placement, but for the next 8 years, that's the only way some people played this game. Your clan channel was basically your home. People would hop in, talk shit, invite you to matches, and just hang out. This game built huge communities through the clan system, but after Clan Wars came out, it all became a war zone. You would challenge another clan for placement on the ladder, and it was a big deal. Your position on the ladder was directly tied to your reputation. Every win and loss was public, and anyone could see your record and instantly tell if you were trash. And if you were trash, people would farm you for points. Speaking of trash, this game is also like pay to win. And I know there's a bunch of lobotomites typing out things like, oh, if you're good enough, it doesn't matter. Look, try typing that without any fingers after I nibbled them off in your sleep. I mean, what happened, EG? Cosmetics weren't enough to maintain the $10 server fees made out of paper mache? You guys had one job, to host the game. I don't know. Maybe one day they'll make a second one. I'm actually really happy that people want to try it out. I'm also kind of worried. Why are you all comparing this game to Fortnite? And that's it. That was the game for 8 years. At its peak, GunZ was averaging 10,000 players on any given day. It was incredibly popular for a free game, and for the next 6 years, it stayed that way. GunZ was incredibly unique. The circumstances surrounding its success will never be done again. So many things had to happen by complete accident for it to turn out the way that it did, but these things are what led to one of the most complex systems ever made. So what happened? Why did it die? Not a very good game if it's not around anymore. First off, people hacked every day. You could boot up a lag switch and in 2 seconds hold half the server hostage. There was basically no anti-cheat. You could fly, no clip, god mode, lawnmower, disconnect entire lobbies by yourself. There were so many cheaters. It only got worse as well when some dude posted the source code to the public, in which I really have to ask, why the fuck did you do that? I mean, you're smart. You could have made a game just as good as any. But no, you want to hack on a dead game from 2008. Do you feel feel cool? Do you feel accomplished? Do your parents clap when you blow the candles out on your 40th birthday? You know they call it DDoSing. At least that's what the cops are gonna do when I showed them a picture of your fucking house. Hell, you could have made a sequel to this game. We could have had a sequel. Yeah, I just said that. Sorry, I was crying over the actual sequel we got. Second off, the skill gap was absolutely insane. So GunZ is what you would call goinmu, which is Korean for stagnant or rotting water. Basically, this game had been out for 6 years, so anyone still playing this game was insanely good. Getting into the game in the last 2 or 3 years of its life was impossible. You would never be good enough to compete. And on top of that, people actively gatekept newcomers from learning the game. And if you're wondering how that might have killed the game, I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe it's not fun learning how to K-style when half your opponents call you the N-word. If you guys stop to reflect that maybe acting like an insufferable cunt isn't a conducive way to keep your game alive, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, maybe pick up a hobby. It's hard enough to convince someone that this even looks fun, let alone want to pick up a keyboard and fuck up their wrist. It's even harder to keep a straight face when they ask me if you guys are welcoming. And on one hand, some of you are pretty cool. And on the other, you guys are like one bad day from ending up on the local news because your dad didn't hide the 9mm well enough. The final reason was that the devs had no idea what they were doing. People got really good at this game, but not in the way that Maya had intended. In fact, they never acknowledged K-style at all. Everyone played the game this way, but the developers were so out of touch with this game, it's like they had no fucking clue why people played it. There were no K-style events, updates, nothing to, I don't know, breathe life into this game. They just never did anything with it. Matter of fact, they put all their money into a sequel to GunZ that failed so incredibly hard, the company went bankrupt. So naturally the game died like right after. If you're feeling a little stupid, these guys would rather go bankrupt than support the only successful game they ever made. Like, I want to laugh, but I realized they weren't joking. They were dead serious. They would rather actually just go bankrupt. And I don't mean that metaphorically or rhetorically or poetically or theoretically or any other fancy way of saying these guys ran out of money because they made a worse version of a game that they made back in 2006. Anyway, this is making me kind of sad. But you can still play the game. There's still a couple private servers that are still around, and I'll show you them right now. The first one is, the first one is... Hang on, guys. Hey, what's up?
Don't you think it's time to move on?
Jimmy?
You know, I really thought you'd forget my name.
Dude, how's it been? I mean, what happened to you?
The game's been dead for 10 years, okay? I mean, this isn't healthy. You don't hang out with anyone, you don't return my calls, you just sit in that apartment all day and edit these fucking videos that no one watches, okay?
People watch these, the game just... It just needs a little boost. It'll be alive again, just like it used to be.
Vincent, every single view has been from me. There is nobody watching your videos, okay? It's time you gave it up. This hobby isn't working out.
It's not a hobby, I'm trying to legitimately bring this game back.
You gotta stop mailing Maya. They don't even exist anymore, okay? They're not gonna bring back the game because you keep writing them fucking letters.
So you're the guy who's been monitoring all my calls and my mail? You're the reason why I haven't received any of my Amazon packages in the last month and a half.
Dude, you bought 2 fucking shotguns and a katana, okay? K-style is not real. This is for your own safety.
I know it's not real, okay?
I know this because I haven't been cooped up in my room for the last 5 months, alright? It's not gonna work. You're not gonna hop off walls like an anime character. You're gonna get shot by police and die.
What the hell's that noise? Jimmy?
I'm sorry, Vince. I had no choice.
You called the police? Is that how you got away? You made a deal with the feds?
I'm worried about you. You were gonna go to Korea and use all that fucking K-style training that you've been doing in your backyard to fight your way up this building that Maya hasn't used in 10 years to do what? To get shot by security because life isn't a video game? Because you can't jump off walls like a fucking anime character? Because a single bullet will mean that you die? You're gonna die, Vince. You're gonna die if you go to Korea and try to do this shit. And for what? To get source code for a game that doesn't exist? There's no source code over there. The building probably doesn't even exist anymore. It's been 10 years.
It's still fucking there. I see it on the website.
Vincent, when was the last time you've taken your meds? You've played too much GunZ. You cannot fight like a video game character. You can't run up walls. You can't do backflips midair. You can't eat multiple bullets and then throw a med kit on the ground and then be fine. You're gonna catch a single bullet and die because That's how real life works.
I know what I saw.
Vincent.
I'm not insane. I played the game yesterday. This shit is real. You think I'd be talking like this if I wasn't literally uploading gameplay of this game onto YouTube? You guys are fucking gaslighting me.
Listen to me. You need to let it go. There is no source code. There is no private servers. And there is no more guns. You don't know how to K-style in real life. You're suffering from a mental illness. Come on, Vince. Nothing has happened here. Let me help you.
No, never.
You'll never make it. They'll kill you.
You'll never take me alive.
God damn it, Vince. 10-4, we got a runner.
7091 077 King Robert John, no 1 and 1. 34 Roger, 625, clear on 34, no 1 to number 3. Alright, we're getting a person shot at 3334 in Evergreen. Calm down! No!
愛してたと嘆くには
Shots fired, multiple shots
あまり
fired.
にも時は過ぎてしまったまだ心のほころびを癒せぬまま風が吹いてる一つの目で明日を見て一つの目で昨日を見つめてる君の愛のゆりかごでもう一度安らかに眠れたら乾いた瞳で誰か泣いてくれ君が知りたいだけ泥の川に浸かった人生も悪くはない一度きりで